Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. That's right, you have 3 videos from me today. 3. I I can't even give you exact number of how many videos I'll do a day. It can just depend, right? It could depend from the situation and what I feel like doing that day. So yeah, it can vary. But you got 3 from me today. You got my first episode of WWE 2K23 My Career Mode. You just got the Ghost one, and now you have this one, which is me reacting to another Sunny V2 video. This one is how Kwebbelkop lost his entire audience in 1 year. So we will get right into this, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment what you think down below. Let's go.
April 2021, 97.9 million views. April 2022, 8.5 million views. In this
That's a drop. But let's, here's the thing, right? Here's what's hilarious to me. Hold on.
9 million views. April 2022, 8.5 million.
I would die to get 8.5 million views. I would have a stroke if I ever got close to 97.9 million views a month. I would have a stroke. But even just to get this would be a shocking thing for me. That's still nothing to look past. That's still nothing to just gloss over here.
Views. In the space of only 12 months, Kwebbelkop's viewership has fallen by roughly 90%, and we're going to outline every single mistake made which has brought him to this unfortunate point. Now, to cut Kwebbelkop aka Geordie a little bit of slack, we need to specify that because he's a gaming YouTuber, some of this decline has actually been out of his control. We've explained in past videos that
gaming channels are the hardest ones, I feel, but it's so tough because I would love to have a gaming channel, but you can't, because I can't, because gaming in the gaming part is so difficult to do just on its own, and you have to have this insane personality and that which I don't have, so it's tough. Which is why now instead I'm kind of just gonna turn this channel is just gonna be a variety channel of just a whole bunch of different stuff, and I'm glad of it.
Gaming YouTubers often have a very volatile career as their view count is directly tied to the popularity of whatever game they happen to be playing. We can see this trend when looking at Kwebbelkop's best month ever back in August 2019 when his channel would achieve a monthly viewership of 166 million. At the time, Minecraft was coming back into the mainstream, bolstering Kwebbelkop's content, whilst Fortnite was still in its prime YouTuber phase, giving him countless opportunities for fresh new videos.
I forgot what I was gonna say then, man.
Since Geordie had no control over the popularity of these games, you might go ahead and call this an element of luck. However, almost everything else which was bringing in these 166 million views had been a result of Kwebbelkop's actions. For example, Geordie was a master at collaborating with other YouTubers.
I'm a YouTuber. I want to know more YouTubers. I want to get to know all the YouTubers. I want my friends to be YouTubers or people that are doing similar stuff.
This became most evident.
So this is where my opinion with my thing changes. So I like the idea of being surrounded by YouTubers. I don't like the idea of having all my people be the same kind of YouTubers. That's where it's different for me. I would love, because obviously I'm a variety, I'd be a variety one, so obviously it'd be tough. I'd rather be a gamer than someone who does music. Someone who does comedy, someone who does just because I would rather be, I want to see a bunch of different people, so you get a bunch of different type of collabs, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to have all my friends of YouTubers, if I have friends with YouTubers, I wouldn't want to be just all the same type of stuff. To me, I'd be boring. Also, I'd love to have I want my friends someone like freaking Nexpo or someone who does those types of videos.
I want my friends to be YouTubers or people that are doing similar stuff.
This became most evident after forming a YouTube trio known as Robust, which included Kwebbelkop alongside two other familiar faces, Jelly and Slogo Man. Kwebbelkop explained that his first viral video with over 14 million views was him, Jelly and Slogo simply messing around on GTA 5. As their relationship strengthened, a video where Kwebbelkop simply met Jelly in real life for the first time gained over 12 million views. The trio were even picked up by PewDiePie's YouTube network Revel Mode.
Look at the insane group of individuals we got. We got PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, I think, Jelly. Yeah, the gang here. This is a group. This is just a group of individuals here.
Alongside Markiplier and Jacksepticeye.
Okay, I was right when I thought he was Jacksepticeye. Okay, I'm glad I said he was Jacksepticeye. I'm glad I was right there.
With the subscriber count of Kwebbelkop, Jelly and Slogo being the best piece of evidence for the success they'd find as a trio. In addition to forming the Robust.
When was this done? 8 months ago, okay. Because I was like, Jelly hasn't grown much. Because Jelly did a response video to the video that I the Jelly video Sunny V2 did, and he hasn't grown a super lot since then.
Group, Geordie began dating fellow YouTuber Azzyland in 2016, with Azzy herself having a multi-million subscriber count at the time, meaning that they could collaborate on various different videos, providing further growth for each creator. Yet the overwhelming driver behind Kwebbelkop's extreme viewership was without a doubt his laser focus.
That's an interesting. I don't know how I'd feel about dating a YouTuber or dating another content creator. I guess it would depend. Obviously, because it would depend on the relationship I would have with them. Because obviously, if I dated a YouTuber or a content creator, I'm gonna say content creator. If I date a content creator, if it doesn't work out, the chance for drama grows. So.
Focus on the content in combination with an unwavering work ethic. After beginning his channel, Geordie made a commitment to upload one video every single day, which he would continue for a period of over 9 years.
27th of August 2012, I said to myself, I'm never gonna miss a day of uploading, no matter what happens, and every day I'm gonna make a video that's better than the one before.
Additionally, all of his energy was
That thought process too, of at least uploading a guarantee. That is always something I guarantee. The only time I can never, if I don't do that, it would be something very big would have to happen that would like really take my attention away. But at least guaranteed, I would try to get one video guaranteed for you guys a day. There's some days where you get, like today, you get 3 videos. Those days you're gonna get 1 video. It depends on the day.
Being focused on one channel only, ensuring that the one daily video was always of the highest quality.
Every day I worked on it, every day I studied it, I watched tutorials, I read articles, I spoke to people.
Tutorials? What do you, hold on. Hold on. Every moment. Like, there's nothing new here. There's nothing groundbreaking. What did you study? But there's like nothing new here. I don't know what you studied. What tutorials especially? The only tutorial I'd want to do is someone to teach me how to use Photoshop so I can do thumbnails. That's about it.
People, I practiced, and every day I made new videos.
And within this daily upload, it was obvious that Kwebbelkop's goal was to ensure the most optimal experience for the audience.
I was making videos that my audience loved watching, right? So I asked myself, what does my audience love the most?
Each of those clips from Kwebbelkop's discussion on the Watch Time podcast also displayed just how switched on he was in terms of personal development and the correct attitude required in order to grow a successful YouTube channel. So if he had the correct attitude and mindset in order, why after 5 5 years of gaining an extremely consistent 100 million views per month did this number drop to between 5 and 15 million over the course of only a year? Well, in order to answer that question, let's begin by looking at a Twitter post made by Kwebbelkop in early 2020. Before things go any further, I want to address the rumors. After 3.5 years of being together, Azzy and I recently broke up. I have nothing but love and respect for this beautiful, smart, and caring woman. Please respect our privacy, thank you, which was accompanied by a video approximately 1 year later, conveniently just before his views began to decline, explaining the reason behind their breakup.
Why did you guys break up? Well, as you guys might know, I'm from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and Azzy is from Canada. And it was a long distance.
I'm from Canada. Don't know why I brought that up. I just wanted to say it. Jesus Christ. I felt that coming. Felt that one coming. Apologies for that. Anyways. For some reason, just wanted to say I'm from Canada. Holy shit. Yeah, that's a long flight. 8 hours, 10 minutes. Yeah, I can see why that didn't work.
Relationship. Once the honeymoon
But in fairness, you had a long distance relationship for 3.5 years. That's pretty impressive, consider the fact. Don't think I could do that.
phase was over, we realized that we're two people from completely different places.
However,
Yeah, you're from Canada. And he's from, wait, she's from Canada. You're from Amsterdam. They're different places. You're right.
it would still be a little far-fetched to blame Kwebbelkop's decline in viewership on nothing but this separation. Sure, he had one less person to collaborate and make videos with. However, if we take the date of Geordie's separation announcement, March 2020, and place it alongside his view count at the time, he actually went up in views after breaking up with Azzyland. Of course, there were other factors at play during this time, such as people being at home and therefore watching more YouTube due to the pandemic. Yet, as an overall, the data doesn't really.
Am I weird for saying this, that I wish I was doing YouTube when the pandemic happened? Am I weird for saying... I know I did it like 2022, 2021. But part of me wishes I would have done this way, or I would have gone into this, like, 2020. I would feel like I've, like, grown better. But I might be weird for saying that. I'm not saying I don't enjoy doing videos now or something. I feel like I missed that opportunity.
Suggests that this breakup had much of an impact on his eventual decline in views. However, it wasn't only Azzyland that Kwebbelkop would stop making videos with. After 5 years of filming together, the robust trio being Kwebbelkop, Jelly, and Slogo would also slowly disintegrate. Instead of playing with Geordie, who was busy making various reaction videos, Jelly and Slogo replaced him with a different YouTuber by the name of Crainer, which was noticed by fans on Reddit. The last thing I remember was that Kwebbelkop was playing Minecraft with Jelly and Slogo Man in Robust Town. Now everything has changed. Jelly and Slogo Man replaced Kwebbelkop with Crainer in a new Minecraft server. Kwebbelkop made his own solo play, and right at this moment he's only doing reaction videos. What is going on? Anyone got the...
I think this was brought up by, in a Jelly one, about this separation being also a thing that would stop Jelly's momentum.
The explanation for it? Why is he now not playing with his friends anymore? Why isn't he playing games anymore? Is he going to maintain it like this, or will he come back to his own self again? First he took down the...
Okay, this isn't fair. Will he come back to his own self again? Like, that's not fair because he isn't playing again, he's not himself. Like, that's not a fair use of that. I don't think that's fair. Because we all want to try different things. He maybe wanted to try reaction videos. That's not... You can't get mad at him for that. We all want to try different things. People don't want to get stuck doing the same thing over and over and over again. Because you get bored of it after a while. So it's fine for people to try new things that they enjoy doing. I don't feel it's fair to say that they're not being themselves because of that.
The vlogs, but then he stopped playing with friends. As this became an increasingly common discussion in Geordie's comments section, he'd upload a video titled Why I Left...
Wow, you really, you didn't change at all. You kept the same, you did the same thumbnail as, hold on, where is it? It's the same thumbnail. It's the same picture of him. It's the same type of thumbnail. What the hell? Like, goddamn.
after video with the group, each of which following a similar narrative, Kwebbelkop felt as though he wasn't growing due to a lack of creativity.
I saw that my creativity was running out. I was just doing things with the group. I was going into that direction. I realized that I stopped growing as a person and that I just stagnated in life and I was just doing the same thing.
Geordie
Oh yeah, let's look at this. Let's see. He changed it, all right. Oh yeah. I mean, he was doing, look at that. I guess they did their videos again. That's actually perfectly timed. But yeah, he was doing like GTA videos and Minecraft videos and all of that, and then he got away from this group and he did a whole bunch of different things. Let's take a look at all different videos. I mean, look at the GTA, GTA. Oh, he did a response video too. Interesting that people are doing response videos to these, but I just find it funny how all of these are like, they're the same videos, dude. You didn't change.
I know for a fact that you.
Oops. He didn't change anything, man. He didn't change a goddamn thing. Your creative is no different.
He also explained that at around the same point in time, he'd become depressed, which made him feel as though he was holding the group back.
I ended up getting a depression, which I've never, ever said anywhere publicly, but it was also holding them back because I couldn't give them the energy that they needed to make these videos good.
And as a result, he began to participate in fewer and fewer recordings.
It wasn't a clear-cut, bye guys, see you tomorrow, and instead it was,
Okay, I'm just gonna throw this out now that I think about it. Is it not weird that Sunny V2 did these videos saying how ratings were better when those three made videos together? Did want to mention it in Sunny's video and mention it here and talk about how these guys were better when they were making videos together. Then not long after the Jelly one, these guys go back to making videos together. Is it not a very interesting coincidence? I'm just throwing it out there. Is it not a very interesting coincidence?
me joining less and fewer recordings.
From this point onwards, Kwebbelkop was no longer making videos with the group, which had helped him to become so successful in the first place. He then began to collaborate with a new YouTuber going by the name of Tiger, yet this would also end in another bit of drama.
They love this photo of him. Jesus Christ. They love this photo of him. They don't change anything. Jesus Christ, they are abusing this photo.
Another bit of drama.
Me and Kwebbelkop got into a fight, and after this fight I was pretty much left with nothing.
Kwebbelkop found Tiger when he was still a small YouTuber, and while the details aren't public, it seemed as though Kwebbelkop offered guidance and growth to Tiger in exchange for part or full ownership of the channel.
That's a terrible deal. That is an actual straight terrible deal. What the hell? I would never give ownership of your channel away. It is your channel. If someone wants to help you grow, good on them. Someone who's a big streamer wants to give you guidance, okay, fine. Don't ever give your channel away, though. Ever. Because it will cause problems in the end if they decide they don't need you as part of the thing. I feel like what happens here. Yeah, don't ever do that, any YouTuber ever.
I'm like, this guy could be a really big YouTuber if I would coach him a little bit. He has so much talent.
Now this went exactly as planned in the beginning. They started playing together and pretty quickly Tiger's viewership skyrocketed from 2 million views per month to 20 million views per month. However, at around the same point in time, Tiger randomly stopped uploading altogether. 2 months later, Tiger would upload a video on a different channel titled Why I Left Kwebbelkop and Tiger, explaining that he couldn't talk about what had happened with the channel.
And I'm not gonna get too much into who was in the right or who was in the wrong, because I can't.
But he was no longer friends with Kwebbelkop.
Everyone is asking the same thing. Why are you not uploading to Tiger, and what happened between you and Kwebbelkop? Well guys, it essentially boils down to one thing, and that is that me and Kwebbelkop are actually no longer friends. I feel hurt, I feel disappointed, I feel betrayed, and most of all, I feel forgotten.
What would become obvious later was that somehow Kwebbelkop had claimed ownership over Tiger's channel, as
because he gave ownership away.
he would upload a video where he'd cloned
give ownership away. That's not how this works. If you, I'm not saying no one deserves to have their channel taken from them, and then he has to kind of rebuild themselves from the ground up. Like, that's not fair. That's not right. But he made a stupid choice in giving up part of his channel. Ownership of his channel to Kwebbelkop in exchange for growth. That's like, no.
Tiger's voice and attached it to an AI, which would provoke another response from Tiger, who was once again insulted by Geordie's actions.
He made this cartoon character, loaned my voice, and put it on the Tiger channel. Listen, Geordie, this cartoon version of you might be your best friend, but I'm not your best friend, okay? I'm not even your friend.
And after Tiger called him out, Kwebbelkop seemed to panic as he would delete every video featuring the AI Tiger.
Yeah, because couldn't you sue? I mean, he could sue him for that, couldn't he? Using his likeness and then his actual voice on a channel that he doesn't own. Like, I feel like you could sue someone for that.
A clone. The two would make up on Twitter, with Geordie stating life is too short to have enemies, yet shortly thereafter Kwebbelkop would end their exchange by blocking Tiger on Twitter.
But then for some reason, my man decided to block me. But you know what, man? I don't care.
What's most interesting about this whole interaction is that it correlates perfectly with the point at which Kwebbelkop's views began to decline rapidly. However, the reason
I don't think he got his views declined because of this drama. I don't think it was probably that enough known. What I will say, though, is it does not put him in a good light.
for the impending decline wasn't the drama itself, but rather one discovery made by Geordie throughout the conflict with Tiger, being that he could make an AI character to act as a real person. One of the biggest lessons I've learned in business is that pretty much everything you dream is possible. Cloning yourself, too easy. 4 years ago, I was in the middle of a burnout, made 3 videos per day and streamed 2 to 3 hours per day. I wished I could clone myself, so I did. What Kwebbelkop is referring to in this Twitter thread is a channel he launched 1 month after the drama with Tiger, which posts gaming videos and uses an AI character as the main personality within the videos. Now, there's nothing wrong with anyone beginning a second channel, but when looking at the numbers, it's obvious that this new AI channel going by the name of Blue was seriously fragmenting Geordie's attention on the main channel. It was launched in May 2021 and began to do 4 million views per month instantly, yet if we look at the Kwebbelkop channel, May 2021 was also the point at which his viewership declined from an average of 100 million views per month to 60 million views per month. Kwebbelkop began to celebrate.
By September, it was 35 million. So yeah, it's glowing. But the AI one that he has like really no part in is going.
The strides that his AI channel was doing, yet he also seemed completely oblivious to the massive decline that was happening on his main channel. His average monthly viewership was down by 40 million on Kwebbelkop while he was celebrating 4 million views a month on Blue. It was the very definition of the man who chases 2 rabbits catches neither, and this decline on the main channel brought about further changes which would ultimately make things even worse.
This is the... I'm gonna be honest, right? What Kwebbelkop did is something my mistake. Which is trying to have multiple different channels doing multiple different things. And this is my mistake. Openly will admit it. Because I had a thought, which is I can only do reaction videos on here. I can only do that on here. So let me do one for gaming. And then one for wrestling related content. Wrestling video game content. Let me do all these things plus my KXW wrestling channel with my friend. Let's do all of this. And then I came to realize, I'm like, what do you do? Like, what am I doing to myself? I'm over, like, there's no need for this. So, I didn't feel like I was giving my full commitment to this channel. Despite the fact I did a video every day and all that, I still didn't feel like I could do, I feel like there was more I could do here. So, that's why now pretty much my focus is this channel. This one and my KXW one. It will always be, those are my 2 main focus channels. So, these are the focus here. I just wanted to bring that up because when thinking of him talking about AI and how he's focused on that and not this, I feel like I kind of understand that mindset and I regret that mindset.
Kwebbelkop would upload a video titled My Most Important Video with I Quit in the thumbnail, explaining that he was no longer enjoying YouTube.
I'm having a hard time being creative. I'm having a hard time having fun in my job. I'm having a hard time sleep. I'm always worrying about YouTube, always thinking about YouTube. I'm not enjoying it as much as I was before.
Before going on to state that after 10 years he was discontinuing the daily uploads.
That's why after 10 years of making daily videos, I quit. I
quit making daily videos.
Kwebbelkop would finish the video by stating that starting from today, he planned on making top quality content that the audience wanted to see.
Starting today, from now on, you can expect my next video to be top notch, to be really flipping good, to be exactly what you want to see.
Yet the first 3 videos posted in the days that followed were him bragging about his $10,000 dog, then him
Hold on, his what? His what? His what? His $10,000 dog. Listen, I love dogs, but that's nutcase. $10,000 dog? Why do you have a $10,000 dog? Even if that's clickbait, why would you even tease that you have a $10,000 dog? What?
him bragging about his custom orange G-Wagon, then him bragging about his $7.5 million penthouse apartment.
Welcome to my $7.5 million penthouse tour. Let's see if this...
Yeah, that's a lot of money. Again, I know for a fact with the jelly thing, so I bet he did the same thing. He clickbaited. I bet you that's so not what the price it is. Still, don't try to, even if it's clickbait, don't try to rub luxury in your audience's face.
This video can hit 100,000 likes!
And it's just like, why would you post this, dude? Not only have you stated in the past that you apparently don't do YouTube for the money,
I don't care about making an extra buck on YouTube. I don't care about the money. I really genuinely do not do YouTube for the money.
but do you really think the audience
I mean, that's not true. This is evidence you're not true. I would never at least fully lie about that. Like, I'm not gonna be like, I don't do this. Like, because of course every YouTuber wants to make money doing this, right? Like, there was no... Okay, maybe that's not true. Moist Critical is pretty good at that. I mean, for most of the part, for the first many years, he literally gave his money to charities. Even though the charities turned out to be sketched. The intention was there. He didn't give a rat's ass about his money. I don't know how he feels now about his money, but he could not have cared less about his money. But like, no YouTuber does this really. Like, let's be honest. No real YouTuber does this without the goal of making some living off of it, right? I don't need this. Like, I don't need to be buying a $7.5 million fucking penthouse apartment or anything like that, but like, I'd love to be able to do this to the point I can make a living off making content and not anything else, right? So, yeah.
wants to open up the YouTube app and instantly see something that makes them feel inferior to you? Do you think new viewers on your channel want to open up the video section and see one video saying I quit followed by 3 videos talking about how rich you are? You think it's just a coincidence that David Dobrik got cancelled in the same month that he posted his brand new multi-million-dollar house to YouTube? When you invite envy into the life of others, you pay for it in ways which you will not expect. The 3 videos felt like nothing more than a validation-seeking exercise which came off as quite insecure.
A man who has insecurities will show their insecurities in big ways.
3 videos felt
A man with insecurity will make sure they buy the biggest vehicle, the biggest apartment, the biggest everything to show how big they are to mask their insecurities. Does that make sense? Like, they will buy the biggest stuff, make themselves feel like the biggest thing, just to kind of put everyone else down.
Felt like nothing more than a validation-seeking exercise which came off as quite insecure. A 2008 study by the Journal of Consumer Research stated that when people feel powerless and out of control, they feel an increased desire to purchase items which convey high status. Further, this increased attraction to high-status products stems from a specific inclination to re-establish power, which might explain Kwebbelkop's motive to upload these off-brand videos. Maybe deep down he felt as though he had lost his position of influence, which was certainly plausible.
I bet you he doesn't see that. I don't think he sees it that way.
Because at the time of uploading the videos, his monthly viewership had declined by over 85% from its peak. Additionally, his house tour might have been evidence that Kwebbelkop had fallen into the classic trap of becoming distracted from the channel by the items he was able to purchase as a result of the channel in the first place. This theory could be supported by the fact that after uploading his house tour to YouTube and announcing that he no longer planned on uploading daily, the videos slowed dramatically. He went from 1 video per day to only 2 videos in both March and April of 2022, doing further damage to the channel's view count. Now we can't neglect the...
Yeah, you can't go, I'm not gonna do a video a day and then just do every day and then just go 2 videos a month. Like, that's not... That's not... That works. That undermines it. that makes it seem like you really don't care about your channel. Even if that's not what the case is, that's what makes it seem like. Even if something's going on, at least update your audience so they know.
The fact that his blue channel has actually gained a bit of traction over the last couple of months, gaining between 10 and 25 million views per month. However, when combining the views of both Blue and Kwebbelkop together, even on the best months he doesn't crack 40 million views, which is still less than half of what he was able to achieve while simply focusing on one channel. In a recent video titled My $100 Million GTA 5 Business in Real Life, which sports a similar kind of vibe to the apartment tour, Kwebbelkop talks about how he's also launched an NFT business and is working.
Why? Why would you that sounds like the worst business to start. Why would you start a NFT business? That just sounds like a terrible idea. That's just stupid. What's wrong with... You're gonna lose money from that one.
On a video game, potentially fracturing his focus from YouTube even further. As mentioned earlier, Kwebbelkop is extremely switched on in terms of how to build and run a successful YouTube channel, although as a whole there are two obvious problems that need to be solved. The first problem, which thankfully is relatively easy to fix, is one relating to ego. Geordie, I know how much we as males love to brag. It's written in our DNA to talk endlessly about how good we are, but you have to resist the urge to do so. Proclaiming your high status by posting videos of your G-Wagon and multi-million dollar home ironically does the opposite of what you want it to, as your audience doesn't want to follow someone that needs to be validated in any way, shape, or form. The second problem is a little harder to solve as it requires either more sacrifice or time, and I could be wrong altogether with this second problem because I'm not sure what kind of numbers your other businesses are doing, but your focus is clearly fragmented, or maybe you have too many things to focus on. You claim to have between 50 and 100 employees.
I'm running a business with I don't know how many employees, anywhere from 50 to 100 employees work here.
Yeah.
Bro, you run the thing. How do you not know how many... There are people who probably you give money to that don't even work for you then. What do you mean you don't know how many employees you got? You need to figure out how many employees you have, because you're just probably giving money to people who don't even work for you. They just sit there, they just exist, and they just get paid for it.
Yet your views are significantly below where they were during any other year since 2016. The potential inefficiency of this was also noticed by some of the sidemen.
So Kwebbelkop has basically tweeted out saying that he spends on average 14 days and 14 editors to make one video.
Instantly, I'm thinking your team or your process is incredibly inefficient.
And while the one step back for two steps forward mentality is a great thing to have, something feels off with the numbers. Maybe you're just bragging about employing way more people than you actually do, and if this is the case, it's just another piece of evidence for the previous point. Quit with the bragging. It's not necessary and adds no value to anything at any point in time. When you appeared on the Watch Time podcast with Muselk, one very mature thing that you said was that you appreciate when your YouTuber friends call you out on things. So while I was probably a little bit harsh in this video, hopefully it can provide some genuine tough love feedback about where you can improve going into the future.
I kind of went dissecting into this video myself. It was only 14 minutes long and ended up 32. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you thought of this video in the comment section. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.